What's up, guys? Welcome to the Mamba year. I'm Alex, and this is week 27 of the Mamba year project. Super fun. We're officially over the halfway point. So today we've got two things lined up. I've got the quote of the week that I'm going to talk about, and then I also have something else that I wanted to talk about that's kind of, I don't know, relevant to the project, but something that I've been seeing a lot out in the world lately, if you will. So let's start with the quote. Super fun. So it's a long one, so I got my computer. So the quote is, "Can I jump over 2 or 3 guys like I used to? No. Am I as fast as I used to be? No. But I still have the fundamentals and smarts. That's what enables me to still be a dominant player. As a kid growing up, I never skipped steps. I always worked on fundamentals because I know athleticism is fleeting." So good. So good. I think it's so important to just understand that, especially growing up when you're kids. I can't remember if this was from The Last Dance or if this was something that I was seeing from Kobe. So it's either Michael or Kobe, but someone was talking about how when they were growing up, there's kids out there who are obviously a lot more talented than others. And so then they just kind of rely on that talent to get them through, and then they don't put as much time into the fundamentals or as much time into their weaknesses as they should. And so then that kind of penalizes them once they get to the next level, because those weaknesses are revealed, and you can't just rely on completely dominating anyone anymore because you were the dominant person in your area, but then take all the dominant kids and then put them into another level. When you get to college or the NBA, then that's you're facing people who are as good as you and a lot better than you too. So it's really, really, really important to fully develop and round out your game, if you will, whatever it is in life that you're trying to work on. Is that fundamentals are key, and it really boils down to just keeping it simple and just sticking to the basics. If you're trying to change your lifestyle as far as living a healthier lifestyle, which a lot of us are, it starts with the fundamentals. It starts with the basics. It starts with making healthier choices, eating more fruits, eating more vegetables, drinking more water, getting more sleep, those fundamentals. And it's not until you nail those down that you can take it to the next step and start playing with other things. Because if you kind of start jumping around and jumping forward into the middle, say, you're like, oh, I'm gonna try to follow this macro split. It doesn't matter if you don't have those fundamentals backing you up. And the other great thing about having such strong fundamentals is that you can always fall back on them. And that is something that's so huge. So whether you're going through a stressful time, or whether things are weird, or you're getting, into a new routine with a new job or a new kid or whatever, those fundamentals, those building blocks, those basics are what is going to help carry you through that time and help you, I don't want to say like if you're going to tumble, you won't tumble as far. But I think that's the only way that I can really think about saying that at the moment. But yeah, so I think that's super important. So whatever you're doing, just focus on the basics, keep it simple, start simple, build habits, and then also, kind of like I said at the first point, is that you have to work on those things too. You can't just, let them fly by the wayside because oh yeah, I'm good. I drink, 120 ounces of water every day. But then, once you stop focusing on it so much, maybe you start drinking 115. Then 110, then 100, then 90. And then, suddenly your habits are starting to backtrack a little bit. So it's important to keep those dialed in at all times and to just also rely on them at all times. So yeah, that's what I got for the quote of the week. It's a fun one. Obviously he talks a lot about, he can't jump as high. He can't run as fast, but he's still dominant because those basic fundamentals, those are the things that the other players kind of skipped over when they were developing, because they didn't really have to work on those things because they were just so much better than everyone else. So great stuff there. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, and this one, so I've been seeing this a lot lately circulating around social media, and it's this little graphic. It's like a little text graphic, and it's like, in a nutshell, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like, stop glamorizing the grind, why are we so caught up in trying to push it to the limit and not get enough sleep and work so hard and do this and do that and do this, take care of yourself, whatever. And that frustrates me so badly, and here's why. First of all, what's the grind? If you are thinking about the grind as being this thing or this whatever this thing because you see so-and-so doing this or so-and-so doing that, you're already out of the game, because the grind is not something that is one thing. It's different for everybody. So my grind is different from your grind, is different from Kobe Bryant's grind. It's all different. And once you start thinking that, like, oh, that's the grind, like, that's too hard, or that's not whatever, like, you're not getting the point, because the point is that the grind is personal to you, and it frustrates me even more when people think that the grind is drilling yourself into the ground, not getting enough sleep, not taking care of yourself to achieve some goal. And that is the exact opposite of the grind. And it's imperative that you understand that, because you'll never be successful if you just keep thinking, if with one, you're chasing some grind that isn't even relevant to you, and two, if you're using that as an excuse for why you can't achieve your goals. So the grind is different. It's different for everybody. Most importantly, the grind, however you want to define the grind. Okay, say we'll talk about, you know, a constant quest to be the best version of oneself. I think that's a great explanation for the grind. And it's all encompassing. It's not giving up everything in life, putting it all on the back burner to try to do one thing. It's picking that one thing that you want to go after, but it's like working that into the rest of your life. And it's about living your best life. And if that means to you going to be a professional basketball player, going to be a professional writer, going to do whatever, if you want to be a CEO of a company, it's not at the expense of everything else in your life. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding of what the grind is. The grind is chasing that goal while also taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep, eating right, exercising, spending time with your family, all of that. And so when I see this graphic circulating around the internet that's like, stop idolizing the grind, like you need to take care of yourself, that is the grind. That is the grind. And I just, it just like frustrates me so bad, because we are all capable of achieving so many great things. But first and foremost, we have to stop comparing ourselves to what everyone else is doing. Stop comparing yourself, or stop comparing your life to, you know, thinking that you can never achieve this grind that is someone else's grind. You know, understand your own grind. Understand what's important to you in your life, and that's the grind. That's the grind, guys. I'm like really passionate about this because, like I said, we are all capable of so much great things, but I think so many of us hold ourselves back because we think that, you know, what we're capable of doing is not what someone else is capable, what someone else is doing. And so I think that's the biggest reason that a lot of us are just shooting ourselves in the foot, and we are just not even allowing ourselves to get started because we're afraid of this grind that's gonna grind us into the ground. But the grind is becoming the best version of yourself and doing all those things. Anyone who is successful in life will tell you that the grind is, sure, it's a lot of hard work. No one said it was easy, but living your best life in the grind, no one's gonna tell you it's just doing one thing and dropping absolutely everything else in your life. Like that's the fastest way to burn out. And I think a lot of people learn that, and you have to learn that, you don't have to learn that firsthand, but most people learn that firsthand. I learned that firsthand. But yeah, it's like, the grind is the balance. The grind is enjoying every single day of your life. That's the grind. Anyway, so that's what I have for that. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week.